go down to Alabama. Let's go down to Alabama, where the folks are nice and that tea's are nice. Let's go down to Alabama. Well, you are watching Shaun of the South, and I'm your host tonight, Shaun Dietrich. We are coming to you live from Columbiana, Alabama, from the Song Theater here in Shelby County, the county seat. Let's go down to Alabama. Say, let's go down, see Columbiana. We gonna have us a fling. Go see 3 on the string. Let's go down to Alabama. I said, let's go down to Alabama.
Y'all are doing your job tonight, being a great crowd for this live recording. Well, welcome to the stage, Brad Ryan from 3 on the String, Steve Ramos on the drums, and Todd Brasher on the bass. Setting the stage tonight for your host, the host of the most, your friend and mine, Shaun of the South. Shaun Dietrich, welcome to the stage, Shaun.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, but I ain't done nothing yet. I'll tell you one thing. I am proud to be here in Columbiana because, if for no other reason, everybody here pronounces things the way that I was taught to pronounce things. Every time it rains pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You find your fortune falling clear over town. Make sure that your umbrella is upside down. Trade it for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have a shower. So every time it rains, don't look under no tree. It'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. heaven. You find your fortune follow clear over town. Make sure that your umbrella. You know, that reminds me of a story. A long time ago. Well, never mind. Traded for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want them things you love, you must have showers. So every time it rains, don't look under no tree. It'll be pennies from heaven. It'll be pennies from heaven. It's gonna be pennies from heaven for you and me. I just wanted to say that it is a real pleasure playing with these guys. I know Bruce gave cursory introductions, but right now what I would like to do before I do anything else to accentuate the gravity of the evening is to introduce the band members.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one that I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you'd adore. Love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Here's my heart, please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Piano time. L is for the way you look at me. Oh, that's for the only one that I see. Sing it, Sean.
Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you.
One more time.
Said love was made
for me and you.
Thanks so much. I do appreciate you being here. This is just such a treat for me to be able to play with people like this. Todd Brasher on the bass, Steve Ramos on the drums, and we have a recent inductee to the Alabama Music Hall of Fame, Brad Ryan from 3 on a String. All four of them. We'd like to do this tune that features Brad. This tune dates way, 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 way yonder back to my childhood. Now, the first place I learned it was from my Uncle John. My Uncle John used to live in an RV at the edge of our property. It was a 1957 Dodge Champion with a crooked axle that he'd won in a bet in Biloxi. Biloxi is the town that was invented by Episcopalians for us Baptists. And he got this RV in a bet. He parked it at the edge of our property, and at the edge of our property there was this little barbed wire fence, and at the other side of the barbed wire fence was a cow named Barbara, our cow, and she would come up to that barbed wire fence, and he'd be sitting on the porch of his little RV, and he had a big white igloo cooler full of Ovaltine. And he would reach in that cooler every now and then, and he would pull out a big fresh can of Keystone Light, and he'd pull it out, and he'd fill a white enamel bowl. And he would hand that bowl across the fence to Barbara. And Barbara, the cow, would lap this stuff up. And my mother would say, "John, you can't feed a cow beer." He'd say, "Listen here, it takes a lot of booze to get a girl that size drunk." I'll tell you one thing. We have a very special guest with us tonight that you will have to wait for. But she is sitting in the back, and I can hear her clapping after every song. She's 11 years old, and her name is Becca the Becktastic.
Are you ready?
Well, close.
This is called Miles and Miles of Texas.
Are you ready?
Well, I was born in Louisiana, out on the old bayou, raised on shrimp and catfish, mama's good gumbo. I got that rambling fever, said goodbye to Ma and Pa. I crossed that old Red River, boys, guess what I saw? Sing it! I saw miles and miles of Texas, all the stars up in the sky. I saw miles and miles of Texas, gonna live here till I die. I rode up into Austin, the cradle of the West. Just ask any cowboy, he'll tell you that it's the best. I met a Texas beauty, I got friendly with her pa. I looked into those big blue eyes, guess what I saw? I saw miles and miles of Texas, all the stars up in the sky. I saw miles and miles of Texas, gonna live here till I die. Y'all give Sean a hand. Okay, that's enough. I started taming broncos, I made every rodeo, till I met a tough one, you know his name was Devil Joe. I held on to his bridle, gonna ride this old outlaw. He threw me from the saddle, boys, guess what I saw? I saw miles and miles of Texas, all the stars up in the sky.
I'm curious, when they inducted you into the Hall of Fame, were there any trophies given or anything like that? Any cash awards or cash prizes?
There was no cash prize. There was one trophy for 4 of us.
So who
So
gets
as the youngest member, I'll get it in about 25 years.
Well, I don't really know. I don't know how to explain this, what we're doing to you here. Truthfully, when we got backstage, they said, well, what is it that you're talking about doing? Because Brad does his 3 on a string gig, all 4 of them. And I do my kind of one-man show. And so somebody came up and asked, what is it that you're doing? I believe we're going to call this the We Don't Know What the Hell We're Doing show. Because truthfully, we don't know what the hell we're doing. I will tell you this, though. This song that I'm about to sing is a song that I first heard in church. And we didn't listen to a whole lot of songs in my childhood unless they were sanctified songs. Now, the reason for that is because I was raised by very, very fundamentalist people. The women in my family wore buns the size of Buick Skylarks on their hair, and they wore dresses that brushed the floor when they walked because God forbid they show any ankle and incite lust or any carnal desires among the young boys in our church. This is much of the reason why we didn't do any of the things we did. And my people did not believe in premarital relations before marriage because it could lead to dancing. I'm among friends. The thing is, we were afraid that dancing would awake carnal desires, especially among the young men and the young women. But the problem with me was that my carnal desires had been awoken, and they were sitting on the edge of the bed dressed for school and ready for the bus. But this song was a song that they played in church, and I could not believe that they had played this tune in church, because this song was something that I considered a secular song. But apparently our music minister felt otherwise. And I can remember my cousin Ed Lee, who sat next to me in church. My cousin Ed Lee was a wild child. Very, very, very wild. He was the kind of kid who he would go onto the playground and he would rent out playing cards that he'd gotten from his brother Davy in the Navy. And these playing cards had pictures on the back. They were not exactly pictures of the 12 apostles. They had names like Bambi and Thumper. He rented out to you for 25 cents for the day. If you wanted to take it overnight, you had to pay $1. He was a wild child. I'll never forget, my mother used to say, I don't want you hanging out with Cousin Ed Lee. He's a bad influence on you. Now, I didn't know what a bad inference was. But I heard him talking about it to the heating vent, and I went and I asked my cousin Ellie, he was 2 years older than me, I said, what is a bad inference? And he thought about that. He said, well, I know what that is. I guess everybody knows what that is, really. I can't believe you're asking me this question. I said, really? He said, yeah, bad inference. That's when, the referee gets on the football field. I said, do what? He said he waves his hands out. He says, pass inference. Now you see why I have such a tortured social life. This is the song I like to play. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah and the wind, Noah and the ark. What did they do when everything looked so dark? My cousin Edley and I used to sit inside a little schoolhouse, and we had a teacher who come all the way from California. She was a wild liberal woman. She had her hair cut short. We didn't know quite what to think, and I remember she stood up on that platform right in front of that slideshow projector, and she was showing pictures of mammals right and left, pictures of mammals. Here was an anteater, here was a duck-billed platypus, and then here was a beluga whale. And then she flipped it again. It was a sperm whale. My cousin Medley covered his mouth and began to laugh. Then she flipped and she showed a blue whale. Cousin Medley looked at this thing. He said, man, that thing's big. I wonder how many people he could eat. The teacher said, oh, no. A blue whale is an aquatic mammal with a tiny little throat. Tiny, tiny little throat. It's totally incapable of swallowing anything much more than a medium-sized fish. Cousin Medley looked at me. We were sanctified brethren. He said, well, what about Jonah? She said, once again, big blue whale, tiny little throat, totally incapable of swallowing a human being. He said, well, when I get to heaven, I'm going to ask Jonah. She said, what if Jonah went to hell? He said, well, then you ask him. Man, you got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, and don't mess with this in between. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark. What did they do when everything looked so dark? Man, you know they accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, and don't mess with Mr. In Between. Show us something, show us. Oh man, I can hear it. Illustrating that last remark, Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark. What did they do when everything looked so dark? Man, you know they accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, and don't mess with it, stay in between. Would you be free from your burden of sin? There's power in the blood, power in the blood. Would you, oh evil, a victory win? There's wonderful power in the blood. There is power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. There is power, wonder-working power in the precious blood of the Lamb. Say, do, Lord, oh, do, Lord, oh, oh, glory, Lord, oh, do, Lord, oh, do, yeah. I think we have a lot of Presbyterians out there.
Even though we had those playing cards.
My daddy used to say the only difference between a Presbyterian and a Southern Baptist is the Presbyterian wants to drink, can't afford to be Episcopalian.
Well, I was born a Baptist. I was raised a Baptist. My daddy was a Baptist. My grandfather was a Baptist. We just got no ambition whatsoever.
Well, do you remember me? Said, do Lord, oh, do Lord, oh, do remember me? Way beyond the blue. I'm gonna test your knowledge. Say, this little light of mine. Oh, glory, this little light. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Okay, that wasn't bad. I mean, I've heard better. Let's try this one here. Cause I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got, I guess most of them are going to hell. I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. And if the devil I envision this going a lot differently, Brad. Sit on a tack, sit on a tack to stay. Cause I'm so happy, I'm so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. Yes, I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. And don't mess with Mr. In Between. I'm so proud to see how low you've set the bar.
We're going to get, I don't know if you've ever, by the way, Bruce Andrews, who kind of runs this Shelby County Arts Council, is just one fantastic guy to have, because he cares about the arts, he cares about the music, he cares about the kids, and you can just tell. He's as genuine as they come, and he's also one heck of a harmonica player. Have you heard Bruce play the harmonica? So yeah, we're gonna this song will be have a few surprises. But Bruce, where are you? We're gonna get Bruce to come up here and play some blues harp for you. Bruce, come on up. Right here will be fine.
Does it look like we know what we're doing?
Y'all's guess was as good as mine on what was going to happen on that last song. So we were.
I was afraid my piano wouldn't work.
Come over here, Bruce. Come over and play this.
Yeah. All right.
He's good. All right.
Make sure it works.
Yeah, that makes sure that works.
Yeah. It works. Yeah, well.
That'll get you in the Hall of Fame right there. Way down south in Memphis, Tennessee, jug band music sounds sweet to me. Sounds so sweet, and it's hard to beat. Jug band music certainly was a treat to me. Yeah. Well, I run home, turn on the radio. Jug band music make me stomp the floor. Sounds so sweet, and it's hard to beat. Well, jug band music certainly was a treat to me. Play that piano. You ready? Come on, Todd. Well, I took off my socks, I took off my shoes. I jump all around to them jug band blues. Sounds so sweet. Can you play that? It's hard to beat. Look out now. Jug band music certainly was a treat to me. Here we go.
Call up 911.
Give me my hand.
Oh yeah, go baby.
Well, I quit to my gal, I put my hand on her knee. If you don't play the jug, you can't play with me. Sounds so sweet, and it's hard to beat. Big finish. With jug band music certainly was a treat. Jug band music certainly was a treat. Jug band music certainly was a treat to me.
I'm not very oxygenated right now. I reckon I'm gonna have to take about 10 minutes to get myself together. We're gonna have a 10-minute intermission, a 10-minute break. Thank you very much for being here tonight. It's been a wonderful pleasure.
10 minutes, everybody. We'll be right back. So thanks again for coming out tonight, y'all. Welcome back to the stage. Brad Ryan, Alabama Music Hall of Fame. Steve Ramos on the drums. Todd Brash on the bass. And is he ready? Is he out of makeup yet? Yeah. Welcome back to the stage, Sean Dietrich. Yeah.
I learned how to play the guitar because my first instrument was the accordion. And my granddaddy was the one who coaxed me into playing this instrument, the accordion, by saying that the accordion is a great way to pick up chicks. Granddaddy lied. The only entertainment I was allowed to watch was that television show that you would see on that big Zenith television my granny used to have. Oh my God, that thing was just enormous. It was the size of the Lincoln Memorial. It'd sit there in her little single-wide trailer. The trailer was a little bit cockeyed from the weight of the television. And we'd sit on that little couch, and we would watch the Lawrence Welk Show. And a man would come out there, and he would have his hair greased to his head with industrial pump lubricant. And he had a little conductor's baton. He'd say, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bobby and Sissy." And Bobby and Sissy were the two duo dancers. They were ex-Mouseketeers. Bobby and Sissy would come prancing out onto the television. They'd be swinging and dancing, and Sissy's dress would be twirling. My cousin Ellie would get on the floor upside down by the TV to see if he could see up Sissy's dress. Bless his heart. And then there would come a man onto the television, and he would be carrying this enormous instrument on his chest. It was an 120 bass Weltmeister accordion that made a sound like a fire engine. And he would play songs like Tico Tico and Lady of Spain and Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, men have named you. And I thought he was the coolest thing in America. This explains why I got married late in life. I said, "Granddaddy, I got to learn how to play that." He said, "Oh man, your life is going to change forever." He was right about that. Anyway, somewhere along the line, I decided that I wanted to play a little something else, and something that actually made the opposite sex give me a moment or two of shadow of a doubt. And I chose the guitar. And so here I am playing the guitar. One of the songs that I first learned was this one. Well, if you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, that's the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. You ride from Chicago to Willie, over 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Now you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City is mighty pretty. You see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this tiny tip? Take that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66. A man walked into the psychologist's office, and his wife was with him, and they just never talked. They'd been married for 40 years, and nothing they did could bridge that verbal gap. And so they sat there in that office. And as they were sitting there, the psychologist got up and he went to the record player and he put on this big old record of Nat King Cole. Nat King Cole played, and finally it got to the bass solo. Miraculously, the couple started talking. The couple looked at the psychologist and said, "What happened?" He said, "It's easy. Everybody talks during the bass solo." Steve Ramos on the drums. You go through St. Louis and Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City is mighty pretty. You see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Boston, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this tiny tip when you take that California trip? Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. This man next to me here is very, very brave. I first saw Three on a String play. And if you don't know Three on a String, then I was 17 years old. You looked a lot younger. Absolutely. And I was floored. I looked at these guys and I said to myself, I want to do that. And when the show was over, I went up to Jerry, his daddy, and I said, shaking his hand, I want to do what you do. He said, son, then be prepared to starve. That man was right. It is a pleasure to play here with Brad. I have been waiting my whole life to do this. I feel almost like I've been called up to the big leagues. We've been working on a song together. We worked, golly, a long time on this, at least
4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah. And we're gonna try to play this for you here. I'm going back to the piano, yeah.
My dad was a huge Hank Williams fan, and of course grew up in the 50s and early 60s, and so he was a Buddy Holly fan and a Hank Williams fan. And it had to be, with the cars and the girls and the music of the 50s, it had to be a magical, magical time. And so what we'd like to do now is just a quick, we call it the Hank Medley.
The Hankers.
The Hankers. Your cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry, and you'll try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Y'all sing now. When tears come down like falling rain, you'll toss around and call my name. You'll walk the floor the way I do. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Your cheating heart will tell on you.
I tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Yet you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme.
That's country right there.
A memory from your broken past keeps us so far apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart?
Well, goodbye, Joe. Me got to go, me oh my oh. Me got to go, Puerto Piro down the bayou. Well, my Yvonne, sweet as one, me oh my oh. That's my French. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou.
Allez plus lentement s'il vous plaît, ah, les éléments t'ont roulé. Cause tonight I'm gonna see my Mrs. Amigo. Big guitar, be free.
up with me.
Say, hey, sweet baby, don't you think maybe we can find us a brand new recipe?
Well, I got a hot rod Ford and a $2 bill. I know a spot right over the hill. Soda pop and the dance is free. So if you wanna have fun, come along with me.
Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me?
I said, how's about cooking something up? How's about cooking something up? How's about cooking something up with me? There's one more. Are you ready? Well, why don't you love me like you used to do? What makes you treat me like a worn-out shoe? My hair's still curly, my eyes are still blue. Why don't you love me like you used to do? I ain't had no loving like a hugging and a kissing in a long, long while. We don't get nearer, further, closer than a country mile. So why don't you say the things you used to say? Or what makes you treat me like a piece of clay? I'm the same old trouble that you've always been through. So why don't you love me like you used to do? I ain't had no loving like a hugging and a kissing in a long, long while. We don't get nearer, further, closer than a country mile. So why don't you love me like you used to do? Or what makes you treat me like a worn-out shoe? My hair's still curly, my eyes still blue. Why don't you love me like you used to do? Why don't you love me like you used to do? Why don't you love me like you used to do?
I'm going to welcome a special guest out to our stage here tonight, someone who has been a real friend to me and a bolster to my view on life. Now, she's only 11 years old, but she is a beautiful human being. Her name is Becca Butler, but we call her here Becca the Becktastic. Give Becca the Becktastic a hand as she comes. Becca, how long have you been singing?
Ever since I learned to talk.
And how old were you when you learned to talk?
I'm gonna say 2, maybe.
So you were an early learner. You know, I didn't learn how to talk until I was 23 years old. And by looks on the people's faces here tonight, I think many of them believe that. Becca, what do you like to eat for breakfast? We were talking about this in back. What does your favorite breakfast look like?
I have oatmeal and a blueberry Pop-Tart.
A blueberry Pop-Tart.
Yes.
Well, we have been practicing, me and Becca. And we just want to let you know, from the heart, if there's any mistake made tonight, whose fault will it be, Becca?
Probably yours. I don't know.
What have you been instructed to say, Becca, if there is a bad mistake? What do you say?
Sean, you're not playing it right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Becca the Bectacular.
There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their heads as they see me ride by. But a little brown maverick is winking her eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy it don't miss a tree. And an old weeping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day.
Everybody's standing up for you.
Thank you.
Take a bow, take a bow. They want to hear one more. Do you have anything prepared?
Yes. I do.
Well, mercy me. I'm so surprised. I knew they were going to love you, but I didn't know they'd love you that much.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to feel, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've known last days to sing God's praise. Then when we first begun.
Becca the Spectacular, everybody.
Can I tell my story?
Becca, I want you to tell them what you told me. Tell them what you told me backstage. Tell me what you were in the car with your mother. She was listening to the radio, and what happened?
While we were in the car, there was a song playing, and it mentioned about Jesus healing the blind. And I asked Mom, I said, how does it make you feel when you hear about songs about Jesus healing the blind? And she said, well, it gives me hope that you'll get your sight back. And she asked me, she said, how does it make you feel when you hear songs about Jesus healing the blind? And I said, it gives me peace because I don't have to hope that I'll get my sight back. I will get my sight back. I just don't know if it's going to be here on earth or in heaven. And on this earth, there's a lot of struggle. And we've all lost something. We've all lost a pet, a loved one, a part of our body, like I lost my vision. And yes, there's beautiful things here on earth, but there's still struggles here too. But in heaven, there will be no struggles. And when we get to heaven, we will be reunited with our family member or loved one, and the parts of our body that we've lost will be restored, and it will be a wonderful day. And I cannot wait for the day that we'll all be in heaven.
Becca, would you sing us one more little chorus of Amazing Grace? Or else I can't walk off the stage.
Yes, I sure can.
When we've been
there 10,000 years, bright shining
Becca the Spectacular, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm kind of going to sing another part of a song.
Can somebody say praise the Lord? Y'all sing this. Well, I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin. Yeah, raise your hand. I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Y'all sing. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow in sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Just like a blind man, I wandered alone. Worries and fears I claim for my own. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the... Everybody, here we go. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow in sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.
Number one rule of show business is you never follow a dog or a kid on stage. A child as beautiful as that, it's hard to think of anything to do afterward. I just want to give her another round of applause. She's sitting right there. Coming up. Becca would not tell you this because she's very modest. But a video was posted online of her singing Amazing Grace. And that video, inside of not even a few days, has had comments from every language in the world of people saying hallelujah and all sorts of other wonderful things. She's a really special child. I grew up in a very, very tiny church, and the man who played piano at our church before I transitioned into that position at the age of 9, which only shows you how rough the musical talent was at our church. The way our music went at church was really funny because musical talent did run so thin in a 27-member church. The way that we would do things was every week you'd walk in and there was a little fedora hat by the lobby. And you would fill out your name on a small slip of paper, you'd roll it up real fine, and you'd put it into the hat. And then that hat would be passed down the pews until it reached Miss Dolores. And Miss Dolores would get that hat, and she would reach into that hat, she would pull out a name, and she'd read it. And whoever that was, we call that Baptist roulette, whoever that was had to come down and sing a song. They had to have a song prepared. And so my song that I had prepared every week was always there in the brain, except I didn't practice much because, well, I wasn't a very dutiful child. And one week I got there in the church, and I went down and I sat next to my cousin Lee, and he was just giggling and cackling. His face was plum red. I said, "What are you laughing about?" He said, "Because there's 27 names in that hat, and they're all your name." I said, "Do what?" I said, "Who would do such a terrible thing to me?" He said, "Your mama." And so I sat there, and Miss Dolores reached into the hat, and she pulled out a name, And she looked at it and she said, no. She reached in, she pulled out another name, and she said, oh my gosh, Sean Dietrich, come on down. Well, I was trembling, and I stood up, and I walked down the aisle toward the piano. And the man who played the piano was named Festus, just like on Gunsmoke. And he smelled a lot like I imagined Festus might have smelled. And he got up from the piano and he looked at me and he said, are you ready for this song? And I said, no. He said, well, you're on. You better think of something. And I got to the piano. And as I sat down, much younger than she was, he said, just trust in God. God will come to you in your times of trouble. All you've got to do is believe. I've always remembered that. And I sat down. And I looked at that piano, and I thought of all the music my father had introduced me to. And I sang. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with Jesus. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Our love was meant to be. Should I pray? Would it please you, Lord? 'Cause I can't help falling in love with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I was never invited back. That was the last song I ever sang in church, literally, for quite a while. This is something that I've been waiting to do for a long, long, long time, what you're about to witness here. Something I have been waiting to do since I was 17 years old. You'll forgive me if I get a little giddy, but I met someone. I did. My wife's back there. She knows what I'm talking about. I met someone at the feeding seed. It was in Holly Pond, Alabama. And his name is Mr. Zeb. Would you welcome Mr. Zeb to the stage, everybody?
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Zeb.
I'm here just like I told you I'd be here. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Well, how's your wife?
She's good. She's good. How are you?
I'm good, too. My wife, good. She putting on weight.
Really?
Yeah, she been eating them donuts like they need their boxes back. Yeah.
Is that a fact?
She started working out, though.
Really?
Yeah, she's been working out. She's been doing abs. Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
How about
Hey, it's been a big week.
Really? Why is that?
I've had a big week. I went up to Huntsville, went up Arizona, Air and Space Museum.
Oh, yeah.
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 Wasn't nothing there.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think they understand, but
They'll get it on the way home. Yeah, then on the way home, I stopped at McDonald's, ate a kid's meal.
really.
Yeah, his mom was mad, boy, I tell you. Yeah. Then I made it down to Birmingham and finally had to take my wife's Christmas present back.
Really?
Yeah. Got her a prosthetic leg, new prosthetic leg. It didn't fit. Had to take it back. Of course, it wasn't a main gift. It was just a stocking stuffer. Sean, I ever tell you about my dad?
No, I'd like to hear about him.
Well, he was a man of few words. He'd say, son. You know he was a congealed twin? He was a congealed twin, joined right there. Yeah, that give me an uncle on my daddy's side.
How about that?
Yeah. Well, then they saved up, and got the operation. They give me an uncle once removed.
How about that? Yeah, huh?
Then I finally, after went to the mall, went by the zoo there.
Oh, the zoo?
Yeah, Birmingham Zoo.
Oh, the Birmingham Zoo.
I love the zoo.
Oh, yeah.
I love to go see the snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, reptiles, that's my favorite part. I've been worried about them.
Worried? Why?
Well, I've been hearing on the radio about reptile dysfunction.
That's all I got. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Zeb. My lifelong dream. The biggest night of my life was walking out onto that Grand Ole Opry stage. Y'all, I don't know if you were looking at me closely because there was a big television behind the Opry thing. And I looked a little different than normal. And I'm not sure how many people picked up on it because I didn't hear anything about it. I thought for sure I'd hear about it. But the day before the Opry, I was extremely nervous. So nervous. And I looked at my wife. I said, what should I do? I said, I don't even know where to put my hands. I'm just so nervous. She said, you know what women do when we get nervous? We go and we get a haircut. I said, what? She said, ain't you never met anybody who's broken up with their boyfriend and they just having confidence issues and you notice the next day they got a perm? I said, well, yeah, your friend Donna. Come to think of it, you. She said, well, it's true. You go, it gives you a jolt of confidence. Go do it. So I was driving, and I was driving around in circles outside Avondale, and I saw this place, and it said haircuts, and it had $2.50 written, $2.50, with it crossed out. Underneath it said $1. I have never had a $1 haircut before. I don't think I'll ever have one again either. Well, I got out of that truck and I walked into that place, that little tiny place, and I got in there and I sat down, and as I was sitting there, I noticed this place was busy. A lot of people there, tons of people. Everybody loves a good deal. And I sat there waiting my turn just dutifully, and this woman, she was just giving these guys haircuts, and they were the prettiest haircuts you ever saw. And I thought, this might be true. My wife might be true. This might give me a little confidence. And this old man walked out, and he said, man, she's good. She's good. I was called up next. I got up. I went to the mirror. I sat down. She placed that cape over my neck. It was a pink cape. I looked at myself in the mirror. She said, what do you want done? I said, ma'am, you're not going to believe me when I tell you. But tomorrow, I'm going to be on the Grand Ole Opry. I said, give me something that looks like Conway Twitty. Conway Twitty was the reason my mother got kicked out of women's Bible study. Conway Twitty was the man who sang the song, lay you down and softly whisper pretty love words in your ear. Lay me down and tell me all the things a woman wants to hear. I'll let you know how much it means just having you around. Oh, darling, how I'd love to lay you down. He also sang, hello, darling. Glad to see you. It's been a long time. You're just as lovely as you used to be. What I'm trying to say is I love you and I'm sorry. Come back, darling. Sorry I did you wrong. My mother would pull in her blazer, and them women of God would look at her, and they'd give these scowling looks. Bless my mother's heart. She loved to go to any church, anything that was open. We lovingly called her a Presbyterian Methodist-Costalitarian. So when they kicked her out of one, she just went to another. And that woman about to cut my hair, she said, really, I know Conway Twitty. My mother loved her. I loved him. I said, yeah, he was something to love. And she said, I can do that, so I'll give you a nice cut. And so she did. She cut my hair. It's a beautiful art, the art of cutting hair. It's one of the oldest arts in the world, the second oldest profession. Well, the phone was ringing. I'm sorry. And she clipped my hair, and when she was done, she flipped me around, and I looked at the mirror, and I thought, that's nice. She did a great job, and I really did feel a little bit more confident in myself. More confident than I did before that phone started ringing. She said, would you like me to clip the hair in your ears? I said, sure. She clipped the hair in my ear. She said, what about that hair that's snaking up your neck? I said, yeah, why not? She said, what about that hair that's coming out your collar like you're the Jolly Green Giant? I said, I don't know how astute you are, but yes, I'm very impressed with how noticeable you are. And she clipped that. She said, well, what about your eyebrows? I said, sure. Well, I had been just getting over a cold, so I had been coughing a lot lately. And I don't know if you know how they trim eyebrows, but the way they do it is they flip on their 10 horsepower horse clippers, and they get a little Boy Scout comb, that little comb that sits right up against your forehead, and then the stray hairs peek out, and they just one pass, zip, zip. It's real quick, real done. That woman got that comb up to my right eyebrow, and she got it up to my left eyebrow, and I had been suppressing a cough. And when you suppress a cough, when you're not trying to cough, when you're thinking of not coughing, the natural reaction is to cough harder than you would have coughed to begin with had you not been thinking about it. And I let one fly. I hacked up a lung. There was bronchial matter floating on the floor. And when I was finished, I looked into the lap of my pink cape. And I saw a little comb and half of my face. And I looked at that woman who was cutting my eyebrows, and she looked at me and she said, oh my God, oh my God. I said, mine too. I said, what happened? She said, oh, you're going to be so mad. You're going to be so mad, but please just bear with me. This has never happened to me before. I said, calm down. What just happened to me? She said, don't freak out, don't freak out, don't freak out. And she spun my chair around until I was looking at my own reflection. My left eye looked perpetually surprised. She was crying. She was crying hard. She was just tears streaming down her face. She said, you're going on the Grand Ole Opry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I said, I am too. She said, I know this is going to be really unprofessional of me, and I don't mean to be unprofessional. I've been haircutting for 1 year. But I need a cigarette. And she walked outside, and she stood out by that door, and she commenced to smoking them 10-foot-long menthol Misty Slims till she was done, and her friends come walking out there, and they're patting her on the back, and she's just crying, and she's crying. And as I saw her friends rally her courage, she came walking back in. She said, listen, we've been talking, and I got an ID. I said, okay, hit me with it, honey. She said, we're just going to take the other one off. I said, maybe you need to go back out there and smoke a little bit more. She said, no. It's all about symmetry. The thing they teach us in cosmetology school is symmetry. I'm going to just take the other one off. So she reached onto her counter and she got the clippers. And she got down eye level with me. And she flipped them on and she went, vroom. And she looked at me. She said, nope, that didn't do it. She went back outside and she had that other cigarette. After a few seconds, she came back in after I'd been standing there looking at myself in the mirror, trying out different expressions. Nothing was showing. It looked like I had the same emotion all the way through. She came back in, tears streaming down her cheek. She said, I really am sorry. I said, I know. I get it. She said, but we have another ID. I said, what do you got? She said, well, across the street is a Walgreens, and they got eyeliner pencils in there. And I done had one of them ladies who works with me go get one of them eyeliner pencils. We matched your color. It's called Golden Harvest. I said, that's not my color, honey. My color is redheaded stepchild. And they said, we're just going to draw them on your forehead. I said, are you an artist? She said, we're fixing to find out. Her and another woman got down with that Golden Harvest pencil, and they drew the McDonald's golden arches on my forehead. And they looked at it and they said, I didn't do it either. And I got my hair cut for free. And when I got to the Grand Ole Opry, there was a man outside to meet me. I had a bald face, and that man said, you know, you're going to think I'm crazy, son, but you bear a striking resemblance to Conway Twitty. I want to play a song for my daddy who would have been tickled pink to have me at the Grand Ole Opry. He listened to that thing every Saturday night. Cowboys ain't easy to love, and they're harder to hold. They'd rather sing you a song and give you diamonds and gold. Lone Star belt buckles and old faded Levi's, and each night begins a new day. He don't die young, and he don't ride on. He'll probably just fade away. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Don't let them pick guitars and drive them old trucks. Let them be doctors and lawyers and such. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. 'Cause they never stay home and they're always alone. He even with someone they love. Cowboys like smoky old pool rooms and clear mountain mornings. Little warm puppies and children and girls in the night. Them that don't know him won't know how to take him, and them that do won't understand. He ain't wrong, he's just different, but his pride won't let him do things that make you think he's right. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Don't let them pick guitars and drive them old trucks. Let them be doctors and lawyers and such. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys, 'cause they never stay home and they're always alone, even with someone they love. 'Cause they never stay home and they're always alone, even with someone they love. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been here. I want to call up Brad to the microphone and do this one with me here. It just doesn't feel right not to do this because I wrote it.
I can't wait to see what it is.
Well, I'm about to find out too. Half an hour south of Birmingham is a town called Columbiana, where the tea's on ice and the folks are nice. Let's go down to Alabama. Let's go down to Alabama. Let's go down to Columbiana, where everything is good and people know what they should. Let's go down to Columbiana. Todd Brasher, everybody. Todd Brasher. Steve Ramos.
Saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Lord, I want to be in that number. Yeah, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in.
Go marching in.
Oh, when the saints go marching in.
Bruce Andrews, everybody. Brad Ryan. Well, we were going to call it right there, but since the ovation is lasting so long, I'd like to get a few more people back on the stage and end this thing like the old Grand Ole Opry used to end every show a long, long time ago. So let's bring Miss Becca back up here. And let's bring the Goat Hill String Band up here.
Her right there.
Play us some Jeopardy theme music, would you, Brad?
Todd's got it.
I just want to say how beautiful everybody looks. The other half of you look like dogs looking at a ceiling fan. Somewhat confused. We dedicate this song to one of my best friends right here, Mr. Aaron Peters, whose father just passed away, and he just played, and I played with him at his daddy's funeral in Slocum, Alabama. This is for his daddy. I was standing by the window when that hearse came rolling in, for to take away my father to a place where I'd never see him again. Undertaker, Undertaker, Lord, please drive slow, for this man that you are carrying, Lord, I hate to see him go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a header on the way in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Go. Thank you very much for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Sean Dietrich, Goat Hill String Band, and Becca the Becktastic.